Hello and welcome to this war of mine with me, the most one, aka MrSuryt. This war of mine it's a game I've been following for quite some time. I actually did have the press release copy. In fact, this here is, as far as I was aware, the press release copy. However, it updated today a little bit early because the game does not come out until the 14th of November. It's a game I do recommend getting. It's a very... well, I don't know, I feel kind of bad to say enjoyable game because of what the game is about. As the name would suggest, the game takes place in a war. It's a little bit different, however. We are not the super soldiers. We are not the rebels trying to win the day. We're not the baddies. We're not the goodies. We're none of that. We are just average Joe citizen trying to survive. That's all we are. We are the citizens in the middle of a war. We have to survive day to day with limited food, limited shelter, I guess. You definitely have to repair your shelter. Sorry there, losing my voice. Yeah, but you've also got to make a lot of decisions that can have real effects on your gameplay, on where you go with the game. It also affects your characters. You have a small team of characters, and they can get depressed. You can have to do things to lift their spirits. For example, if, say, those little kids need medicine for their mother to stay alive, or they become orphans, and you don't give them the medicine, you're going to feel pretty lousy. Because in saying that, if you do give all your medicine to them, which is a very, very difficult resource to come by, and one of your guys gets sick and dies, well, you're going to have the same kind of issues, I guess. So it's all about making the right decision. The catch to that is, in war, there is no right decision. There is no good, there's no bad. Now this here is new to the update. Again, I'm going to have to look into it to make sure that this here isn't just the press release version updated and it is the full version. I'm not actually sure. I don't know why it updated. Just went to record pre-release and we got this. Continue. Saving. It seems to be a new feature of the game. This continue is where I crashed 5 minutes ago. Game accident crashed on me. My own doing. My own problems. So we're going to do another try. I'm not too sure we're going to start with that. This here is all new as well. We actually have options. The reason I took so long to record when I did have a recorder series, when I did have the press release version for a while, is because of this setting here. The volume on the music is very loud. I've got it turned all the way down and it is still quite loud. I'm going to have to play around with a little bit, probably in rendering, just to get the music right. It might take a while. Anyway, I think I forgot to say it's from by 11-Bit Studios. Not sure if I said that or not. So yeah, let's get into it. You will lose a current pro. I haven't even seen the intro, so we'll go with that. Loading. Great. Oh. Day 1. Okay, we did have another crash there. Hopefully this is all working fine. And for the first time in a long time, I have got myself a game that is not in the middle of winter. Fantastic. Alright, so this here is where we live. This is our little house. And these are our people. We've got 3 by the look of it. Nothing seems to have changed. Although that sound effects is very loud. Not a great deal seems to have changed there. Let's get into the story. Okay, the basic idea is we've got these 3 people to begin with. Not the best selection, but not the worst either. This is their house behind us. This is their little story. When the Civil War broke out, many people thought it would only last a couple of weeks. It took years before government military finally surrounded the rebels in the capital, cutting off all supply lines. The civilian population trapped in the city is suffering from hunger, disease and shelling. Okay, so that is a little bit different to the press release version. This time we actually do know that we are in the city held by the rebels and the government is trying to take it back. Previously we weren't too sure who were the good guys and the bad guys. Okay, we got Kat and Pav. They both met and... oh, met with Pav and Bruno, sorry. This one here met with these two. Before the war, she used to be a reporter, while Bruno had his own television cooking show. That's new. Pav was the star of the local football team. That's not new. Kat even interviewed him once. Now they meet in dramatically different circumstances, looking for food and shelter. Yeah, that's all very different. A lot of people undervalue Bruno, but he makes things a hell of a lot cheaper to cook and to prepare and sell. So very good. Pav, he's quite fast from memory. I think he's got an alright carrying capacity as well. And our reporter over here, Kat, she's very good at bartering, which is also good. So not a bad team. I would have liked another... We're lucky it's not cold in here. Yeah, we are. Temperature here, winter, terrible. Double click to move faster, and we find out that that one there is locked. I was expecting that. Yeah, he's a fast runner. Here's Bruno, slightly sick. That's not what I wanted to see. You get up, and it would have been better if you'd stayed up the top here so we could collect a few things. Alright, so that's what we've got to do. We've got to go around and collect everything in the area, in our home, our new home, before the day ends. So we're going to have all that. Bruno, kind of look in there. Oh, what do we got down here? A few things that we've got. Herbs eventually can be used to make medicine, which is alright. Roll-ups for cigarettes, not one of the better things to make for currency, but usable. Sugar is very important, as is water. Water is used for food and for moonshine. Sugar also for moonshine. Moonshine is one of the better currencies you can make. So yeah, that's all good. We've got components which you use to make just about everything, and wood, which is also, I guess, a component to make a lot of things, but it can also be used to cook, to make firewood, and to heat your place. So let's go. Let's keep going. Bruno, get in there. Pav, open that. Gotta break these down, these doors here. This early part, it's more or less showing you how to survive nighttime, and I'll explain it more once we've collected a bit more. So parts is another component, another material used in a lot of items, especially weapons and electronic parts or electrical parts. Same deal. It's another item used to create more advanced stuff, generally speaking. We also got a bit of raw meat there, which is good. It's much better if it's cooked, so we're going to have to get onto crafting a few things. Alright, Pav can get onto crafting over here. Why not? You can tab through your characters. I don't often do it because you end up going all the way through. Now this is your crafting. You start off with a simple workshop. A few items to make, a few things that will be very necessary early on. A bed. I like to get a bed before day's out. That's the main thing that I want to get. We've also got a crude stove, which will be good. You can say that to the second day. Moonshine still and rainwater is also important. So we're going to make that bed, and I often get the bed so early that the only place to really put it is down here. I probably could put it over here. Well, we'll place it down there. Alright. Bit more, or a few more bits and bobs. Cat, you're coming up here, and you've got to get rid of one of these big piles. Oh, okay, we've got ourselves some lockpicks. Very useful. A lockpick, as the name would suggest, will open locks. This one down here was locked. It is no longer locked, as you can... Well, it's no longer showing a lock sign, it's showing a lockpick sign. So we can get into that now. We can also get into this one. Now up here, Kat is clearing away a large pile. There's nothing in there to collect, it's just a pile of rubble. Takes a very long time, however. She has just told me I could use a shovel to make things easier. Yes, shovel would make things easier, but a shovel is another tool that needs to be made. We don't yet have the capacity to make the shovel, however. Alright, we can get in there. We can get into that. So we've got a few piles that we're trying to get rid of. They're a little bit annoying. Anyway, back to the lockpick. Yeah, the lockpick will open things and it will not make too much noise. She's making a real racket at the moment. I may end up having to turn that down, actually. But anyway, you can't really see like you could in the pre-release version, but there used to be sound waves bouncing off them. You make a lot of sound when you're doing things like what they're doing right now. And if there are bad guys around, or not necessarily bad guys, but others around, they can hear you and they'll come at you. The lockpick is quiet. Single use, but it opens locks quickly and quietly. There is another item, a crowbar, that you can use. It will open things just as quick, and you'll get multiple uses out of it. It's not single use. You can also use it as a weapon, however it's quite noisy. What do we get there? A little bit more sugar. We're really looking good for making a bit of moonshine early on. I need you over here. Oh, you're going to have to go through a locked door, so let's have a look at opening it. Works much the same. Still sounds noisy to me. Sounds very noisy. I love having an option screen, which I did not have previously. Alright, do we want to use our last lockpick here? Why not? Oh. You get rid of it. Get rid of the first one. Okay. And we get ourselves books, also undervalued by a lot of people. Books make you feel better. You can use it to burn, you can use it to make firewood. However, I like to keep them just because you don't feel so bad about... Oh, no, okay. You don't feel so bad about some of the bad decisions you are forced to make. Alright, we want to get water going. We didn't get much food and absolutely no medicine. But the next thing I want to make is the metal workshop. It's another workshop, much like the one that I'm using right now. So we're going to keep it all in the same spot. You can upgrade these as well and they'll make better things, which we will end up having to do. I'm guessing I'm no longer playing the press release version, which means we may be able to survive a little bit beyond the first 12 days. The press release version was limited to the first 12 days. Alright, usually I wouldn't use all the lockpicks like that. I would have made the crowbar by now. It's a little bit easier to make the crowbar, I find. Or not easier, but it's cheaper in the long run to make the crowbar. Lockpicks don't take much. Parts here are quite useful for other weapons, however. That does use a lot of components. It lasts a while though, so I'm going to make one because we're going to need it to get through all these locked doors. I'm not going to make a shovel. I generally don't make a shovel unless I really need it for a particular building that I'm in. Alright, so this is our kitchen where our food is kept. There is one extra food that was not there previously, but we've got vegetables, raw meat, and down here we've got canned food. Canned food can be eaten at any time and it's great. Raw meat and carrots can be made at any time. Get in there, please. And it's not great. You can make bowls of food. Alright, let's see if we can't get in here. It's locked. We've only got one crowbar, so you've got to wait till the other person's finished using it before you get in there and use it for your other character. But he's now using it down here, Bruno. Oh, you're in there. A bathtub. That was not there previously, and why do I need a crowbar for a bathtub? I don't know. More meat, more sugar, more books, nothing else down there, but this here's the big one, medicine. Gonna grab that, and you can see that there is a lot of wear and tear on the crowbar already. It does have limited use, around about 5 uses from memory, unless that's changed. Nighttime's almost started, we're almost at night. Night starts at 8, I believe. I'll send you up here to clear that. That's only a shortcut to get through. You can jump up here, usually. We just about cleared everything out, which is quite surprising. Bandages, oh, great. Alright, I can hear a newborn baby. Oh, here's nighttime. Alright, well, we'll play through nighttime. I can hear a newborn baby in the other room crying right now. That's fantastic. May end up having to pause from time to time. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is our house down here. We can't go there, obviously. We've got a shelled cottage, semi-detached house, and a decrepit squat. These are our 3 options for nighttime. These are our 3 characters. You can see they have different carrying capacities. Cat and Pav are both pretty average. They're not fantastic, but they're not bad. Bruno is not fantastic. We're going to keep... He's slightly sick. Slightly sick. It'd be a waste to use the good medicine on him. We're going to go guard duty for him. Cat, we want, in case we have somebody come around to the house to barter with, we want her ready to bargain at any time to barter. So she gets to sleep in the bed. You can sleep on the floor, you don't get a very good sleep, and you're not too happy about it. And Pav is going to be doing the scavenging. So let's have a look at the places we got to scavenge. The shelled cottage. This neighbourhood recently got shelled and many houses are still burning. People were fleeing for their lives in a hurry. So we may find some useful stuff there without meeting anyone. Lots of food, huge amounts of material, lots of meds, huge amounts of weapons, and lots of parts. This here will change depending on how many times you go in there and clear it out. As if we took all the food from there, lots of food would disappear from the list. And you do get a percentage telling you how much has been taken. So that's actually a pretty good one, and that's a very common one to get to begin with. Semi-detached house is also pretty common at the start. Half of it is in ruin, but there are people living in the other half. They don't seem friendly. At night you can sometimes hear shots fired from there. We could probably scour the abandoned part for supplies if we managed to sneak past the inhabited part. Huge amounts of food, lots of meds, huge amounts of weapons, huge amounts of parts, and danger. So not a good one to go to early on when we don't have any weapons ourselves. And our squat over here, decrepit squat. It's been inhabited by the homeless since long before the war. They've always been struggling with the lack of food and might not have survived the recent shortages. They shouldn't be a threat, and we could find some useful things there. Huge amounts of materials, lots of weapons, lots of parts. No food and no medicine, but a lot of other stuff for making things. So we might get into that one. But I think it's quite obvious the first one we're going to is going to be here. Alright, here we are in night, and I have gone over to Windows mode. Ooh. Okay, so it works much the same as in our house, like I said previously. The start of the house, that's basically practice mode for when you get into the real deal. Nighttime, we're going to go to this place here to begin with, of course, and collect all the resources. We're going to collect as much as we can, but there is a chance that there's going to be other things in the area. If we look here, we can see that there might be someone right here. Oh, that scared the hell out of me. It was a rat. Okay, so we could see a rat walking around in there. Nighttime, it works much the same as daytime. We can't take all... Look at all the resources. Wow, we are taking this. Take you. We're probably going to leave a lot of this behind, but I'm going to grab it all to begin with, and we'll take it in here. So we can't quite see everything in here, unless we look through our little windows. It is a little bit more dangerous to come through... Oh, you could see the sound bouncing off just then to show you that you can actually get in trouble out here. Wow, I want all of that. More so than I want all this. Alright, we'll get rid of some of this then. What? I'll grab the food. Oops. We get rid of the herbs. I want some sugar. Sugar's very good. We're going to need that during our next day. Get rid of you. Save that room. Maybe I'll come back for that water. Very important. Trust me. Sugar, water, very important. Oh, what? How much sugar? This is great. That's actually a good haul. We're going to keep looking though. Yeah, I'm going to grab whatever I can. I might leave stuff behind. I will leave stuff behind. I already have. But I'm going to take it, and if we can find out more, or find more stuff that we want, such as that... Oh jeez, there's so much here that I really want. We might end up taking another trip back here. I'm going to take the herbal medicine. It's not as good as the full medicine. Herbal medicine does not always work, and it only really works when you're slightly sick. But one of our guys is slightly sick, so that is ideal. So we're going to take that. It also sells for a fair bit. Alright. This has changed a little bit. Oh, windowed mode. Couldn't quite get down there. Oh, what have we got down here? A coffin. At least it looks like one. Could just be a bathtub. More wood. Have to remember that. We're going to see if we can't clear this out in time. Now, what I was saying before, time. There is time in this. It's not 8 till 8. Same as daytime. Or, well, actually daytime is not 8 till 8. But anyway, what it is you've got till about 5 AM, I believe. If you don't get out of here by 5 AM daytime, there's a chance you're not going to get out at all. I've not risked it. So I have not experimented with that just yet. One other thing, whilst we're sitting here digging, that I will mention, making a lot of noise. Thankfully there's no one here. If I had a shovel, this would be nice and quick and less likely to be caught. We did have, it's not an actual crash of the game, it was a crash of me coming into this house. And what happened is I had to restart the day. So when we do get back to base, there's going to be a few things that are a little bit different. For example, I did not get a bed made. So one of our people is going to be tired, the other one's going to have slept poorly. So unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to have to be. Anyway, generally, when you get things that are locked up and behind a lot of rubble, they're the valuable things. So that's why I'm wasting time right now doing this. We do have a full haul, so we can always leave. And this here is why we brought the crowbar. Not that I was expecting this to be here, because this particular house was modelled slightly different in the pre-release version. So I haven't seen this yet. This is the first time I've seen this. There was no way of getting out the back, I don't think, in this house. No, there was, sorry. There was, actually. Now that I think about it. Yeah, get in there. Come on, Pav. Okay, we are definitely coming back here. There is a lot of good stuff. Bullets are reasonably common, supposedly, which makes them cheap to buy, but they are... I find them hard to come by. Could be changed in this version. Bandages are what we really want to come back for. Eventually we'll be able to make our own ammo as well. And just another trading resource, not particularly needed. I don't need the bandages just yet, so I'm going to leave them for day 2 when we come back. That's still the rat. I'm hopeful. I hope it is. It's pretty low on the ground, so yeah, there we go, it's the rat. More rubble over here. Window mode, I might have a few less issues with crashes as well. Where you full up. Obviously things stack to different levels. So yeah, you can't... Oh, here we go. It's a good thing we did bring the crowbar then. You can see the amount of noise we're making. So, crowbar, not always the best tool to take when you go raiding. I was pretty sure though that the first place we go to was going to be pretty safe. Alright, a lot more materials. So we're going to come back here to collect a lot of resources, a lot of materials that we're going to be using to build up our home base. Oh, what is that? Fertilizer. You can make fertilizer. Used to look different. Organic waste that we can use as fertilizer in our garden to grow herbs or vegetables. I've got kids, you can tell sometimes when I speak. Or as bait in a trap for small animals. I often use it for bait. But what is that? Coffee. Some of us drink coffee to find strength in order to survive another day. Its limited availability in wartime makes it a valuable commodity. Oh, so that's good for trading. That must be what the other option is in the kitchen. What really has me happy there is the weapon parts. We're probably not going to need them just yet. We don't really need a better weapon than the crowbar. But eventually, yeah, we're going to come back for that for sure. That was materials. Now let's see what this note here is. This is new. One of the flyers dropped in on the city. It reads, "This is a zone of anti-terrorist operation. Persons remaining in the city will be treated as terrorist supporters. For your and your family's safety, leave Pogoran immediately." Most likely pronounced that wrong. "The army guarantees you a safe passage. Not many believed them after the atrocities that they had committed." Okay, well, yeah, they're still committing atrocities, and it looks like with the dead body hanging out the window there, nothing has changed in this area. Alright, so we got somewhere else to search. From memory, there used to be a barrel out here full of wood. Not a pile to slowly dig through. Yes, you really could use a shovel. So the early houses, they're more or less just showing you how to go about your business here, how to do things in relatively safe area. At the moment we've only got 3 places that we can visit at night. There is a lot more, and generally they become more dangerous. Not always. Sometimes the danger is in the decisions you have to make in order to loot that particular building. You'll understand when we get there. Some of the safest houses to loot are in fact real hit on your morale to do so. I reckon we'll get through this and maybe see what's in there, just to know if we want to bother when we come back. We're going to come down the bottom, we're going to go up the top there, and we're going to get a bunch of other resources. But when day 2 starts, hopefully, when day 2 starts, we will be able to get ourselves a little bit of moonshine going, because moonshine means money. Well, not money, it is the money, I guess. It's a very valuable commodity. A lot of people out there really want to get drunk at the moment. Alright, let's check out... Is that a dead body, or... Oh, hey, we can zoom. Nice. Oh, scroll actually works here now. It never used to. You had to drag to see. Alright, some more coffee. More parts. Yep, we are definitely going to come back there. But that is it. We're going to run to the exit. We're quite early. I mean, 3:50 in the morning's not early, but... We are back. And this here... should be day 2, and... I was going to say an autosave, but instead we got a crash. Which is alright, because I've got a screaming kid that I have to go and discipline. Alright, so that is it for first episode, I guess. When we come back, we'll be into day 2, hopefully. And hopefully you enjoyed. If you have, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.